This episode is brought to you by the Ultimate Girls Trip. Here is our reoccurring daydream. Us at a drool-worthy pool, surrounded by our business besties. We just finished a powerful exercise on building our dream lives and executing our business goals. Join us if you are ready to be celebrated for taking up space, to feel purposeful, and to live a life of fulfillment. Go to proofitspossible.com for more info. Welcome to Proof It's Possible. Jamie and I are multifaceted entrepreneurs, the founders of the Ultimate Girls Trip, and the hosts of Proof It's Possible. Jamie and I are also sisters, best friends, and complete opposites, but somehow we always manage to stay on the same team. Join us every week to hear our thoughts on all things entrepreneurship, friendship, family, pop culture, and more.
Hi guys, welcome back.
Hi.
Today we are chatting about all things being a founder. So this has been on repeat in my world where it's like, are you doing too much in your business? Are you wearing too many hats in your business? And is that preventing you from growing and doing what you need to be doing and acting like the CEO or the president of the business when you're busy, tied up doing kind of the admin tasks or the janitor tasks or all of the tasks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on repeat big for me too. This one is slapping me around a bit. I need to listen to it. I need to, this summer I was able to take a little bit of time off work, just to come to Kelowna, hang with you guys, do the things. And what it did was it opened up time. So not being busy, being the doer of everything, doing, because I have had literal years of being so busy with the tasks of my business that I couldn't step away. And I couldn't see the big picture because I was in it too much. Mm-hmm. And so getting to step away and have space from my business and think, I think every day, but when you're thinking small scale tasks, like my next task is this, and then I got to do that, and then I got to go there, and then I have to do this, and then I have to do this. You don't sit with your business. You don't sit with your numbers. You don't sit with how you could grow and how you could scale. And I literally had an aha moment where I was like, how did I not think of this before? Why haven't I been doing this? Why doesn't all of my time and attention go towards this thing? This is craziness. So basically I have I have something fun and new that I'm working on and I'll share in the future, but because it's like an actual baby right now. But
not an actual baby. You should probably clear that
right.
up.
It is an extension of one of my businesses, and I'm super pumped about it, but it's just doing it differently. It's doing it where I'm going to step into a different role in it, and it's going to offer services that are a lot less expensive for people and things like that, and get to more people. And that's awesome. I'm very excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I'm a big believer in that. If you're too busy, you don't have time to dream. You really don't. If your mind is busy, dreaming is its own separate thing, and it requires mental energy to even just think about the things that you want to do and how you'd like to change your business, grow your business, whatever that looks like. I really believe that you need to give yourself some time and some space in order to do that.
I agree. And that honestly, it's why I think the girls that come on our Ultimate Girls Trip, come out of it transformed, because they've given themselves permission for 3 full days to spend time not mm-hmm. doing the work, mm-hmm. but just talking about their actual dreams. Mm-hmm. Actually making game plans. Yes, thinking.
Rather than bathing the kids, or rather than thinking about tomorrow's dinner or cleaning up the dishes, or just doing the task.
Working. Yeah, doing their work.
Working or whatever it looks like. In the evening, they don't have anything, they get to lay their head down and just dream. They get to think. They get to do it all day, but in particular where I find like as a mom and as a homeowner and like it just feels like
Mhm.
at the end of the day, the last thing on planet Earth I want to do after I've done all the things
Emails
is
and everything. Yes.
yeah, emails, clean up dinner, make dinner, drive to baseball, all the things. I'm like, the last thing I want to do is sit around and dream of ways that I can add more to my plate. But I think that
Exactly.
when you have nothing on your, or, you've given yourself some freedom to have
Space.
nothing on your plate
Yeah.
for a few days, you all of a sudden reinvigorate those parts of your brain that are like, oh,
Mhm.
I have some space here. I can start using this functioning again. But I do believe the biggest obstacle to this
Mhm.
theory is that in business, I'm so guilty of this. I have a very hard time trusting that somebody else can do it the way I want it done.
Yes.
So
Same.
therefore, in my business, I wear far too many hats
Mhm.
because I've either tried to hire and was unsuccessful. The candidates that I got weren't the right fit. I tried it on and it just made more work for me. Like I've hired somebody and it just made more work for me. That the training is going to take you too long and take up too much of your energy. Like these are some of the excuses that I've used in the past and I'm currently
Totally.
still using
Yes.
for why I
In some areas for sure. Yeah.
haven't taken tasks off my own plate. And I'm guilty of it, but I'm also in an area where I have to do some like, inner work and figure out why I can't just give up some of these tasks in order to
For
make
sure.
space to grow.
Well, and like the tall tales that I tell every time this comes up in our conversations is imagine I didn't find my amazing bookkeeper. Like she's changed my life
Hmm.
in the most wonderful way. I love you, Christine and Alyssa. You're both amazing. But it was something that I was like bootstrapping through and making
Yeah.
you help me with and
Hmm.
ruining everyone's lives, include, mostly yours.
Hmm.
And the day came where it's not my area of genius. It's not even my area of like basic understanding. So thinking I could do it was silly. It was silly.
And thinking, believing yourself that like nobody could do it as good as
Good
you.
as me or as
Oh,
good as you, and you were saying to me, I don't have time for this. I don't
I
want
don't
to do
want to do
this.
this. No, thank
And
you.
I'm like, "You're perfect for it, though. You're free." And I like free. So that's wonderful. And
Yeah.
so once I got over that garbage story, because that's a yeah, but statement that is a lie, complete lie. They do it way better than I did. I could have ever imagined doing it. They did it better than you because they have time for it. And I pay them properly to do it. So of course they
Hmm.
make time for it. That's
Yeah.
the whole thing. And ever since then, it's a stress that like off my plate. It's just not on
Hmm.
my plate anymore. And quite frankly, they make it easier for me because as much as I hate doing like an expense report, because that's my role in my bookkeeping is that I have to keep on those. Because I've hired somebody to do it, I'm the kind of person that money gives me a little bit more like accountability. If I pay somebody to do something for me every month, well, guess what? I know that they're waiting for my expense report so that they can finish my month end. So I actually do those expense reports on a very very regular basis because I know they're waiting for them, and I'm paying them to do it no matter what. Like I'm paying them to do my month end every single month, whether I've provided them with the stuff or not. So it's like the thing is what I used to do is like go do my expenses wherever, whenever. So it might be 1 month, it might be 7 months. And the chaos on that was a burden that ruined my damn life. Like I hated it. I worried about it. I fretted about it. So there is somebody out there that can do every task you're not good at. And I agree, you do have to keep some tasks to yourself. Like there are
Well,
parts of the
and
business that maybe you're the person for.
and you almost need to do a bit of an investigative dive if you have
Yes,
hired like me and it hasn't worked out. Have you been clear in your expectations? Have you had
totally.
markers to know if they're meeting your goals? Like what does that look like in order to make sure that you don't repeat the same mistake and hire the wrong person again?
Well, that and did you pay them enough? Because like I can get really and small businesses can get really in the fear of paying the price. Like so when somebody's really good at their job, they're probably going to want more money for that job.
Hmm.
And it feels really bad to hire somebody that you're like, "Ugh." this is stretchy for me. This is too much money to pay out because will I get the time back to make more money to pay this bill or whatever? But it's like when you find the right person, and you'll know fairly quickly, in my experience,
Mhm.
that person does make so much space for you that it becomes a non-negotiable. You're like, oh, I would never let that person go. That is worth
Mhm.
my money. That is worth my time. I
Well, you
wouldn't.
have to look at it that like if you can bill out, let's just say $100 an hour for easy
Mhm.
math here. If you can bill out $100 an hour to do your zone of genius, and your non-zone of genius, you're wasting 5 hours a day trying to sort through it. Like for you, you were always just kind of in the
Oh,
throes of trying
always.
to learn your accounting and do all that. Well, you've just wasted $500. I'm guessing you can probably hire somebody for less if you look at it that way. Like if you were to pay
Exactly.
yourself for your time that you're wasting trying to learn
Mhm.
this task that you hate.
For sure. Especially when it's like, administration type chat, administrative things where
Mhm.
it is something that you can say to the person and work with them on a long term and say, can you make me a Canva document that has X, Y, and Z and whatever? And they can come back to you and you can be like, okay, you know what? This is needs a small adjustment or it needs a huge adjustment, but they can learn your style over time.
Mhm.
It is a very, very good trade of your resources for their time. And you're getting time back in your life. And that is the most important part because what you can make, like, and I always think of like Steve Jobs, like he's the like brilliant mind behind Apple, but he couldn't just stay doing everything in the business in a garage and be Apple, be the founder of
No,
Apple.
at some point he needed to be like, okay, we need to hire a computer programmer. We need to hire an app
4
team. We
computer
need to hire,
programs, then 10, then 20,
of
and he had to
course,
let people come up with things. And I'll guarantee you, those people, although they helped him grow just on the like because they could do some of the work, they came with their own amazing, brilliant ideas.
of
He
course.
picked other brilliant people to work with that were doing the thing that they're actually the best at. Because the thing is, even Steve Jobs, I'm sure, was good at vision and having this idea that, we would basically carry a computer in our hand all day and it would be our phone, it would be our computer, it would be our
Mhm.
everything. Um, he didn't necessarily know exactly how to make that. So he still needed the geniuses behind it to make that a reality. And when we look at it, somebody like that, it's such a good reminder that we are basically holding ourselves back to being Steve Jobs in a garage that no one's heard of our product or our service because we are the people that won't take the leap. We won't hire the VA. We won't get the accountant. We won't, we're trying to bootstrap every single job. And that's not sustainable if you want to grow.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think the challenge is to look at your business and figure out like
Mhm.
where are you bootstrapping it? What tasks do you love? What tasks do you hate? And what can you offload?
What can you offload? What are the easiest, painless areas that you can offload and make somebody else's problem for a small amount of money? And then once you do that with one person, one hire, you'll get more comfortable flexing that muscle and you'll pick the next hire that will help you and the next hire. And next thing you know, you're just going to oversee everything and you're not going to be on the hook for all the jobs within your business. And honestly, it's the recipe to scaling, but for whatever reason, it is terrifying. And we're with you. We hear you. We're in it too. Every level, Lori Harder said something that like stuck with me years ago. She said, new level, new devil. And every single level that we go up will feel completely uncomfortable. And that's just how it looks. And once you get past the level and the discomfort, you you're like, how did that ever feel uncomfortable? And then you're fine with it and you'll pick a new goal.
It becomes your new
It
normal.
becomes your new normal.
Hmm.
And when you're ready to scale again, you're going to be just as uncomfortable. And like, you have to know that that's part of the process, and you have to know that the minute you feel that way, it's your cue to keep going and not to quit.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. That's the hardest part.
That's the hardest part, but getting comfortable in the discomfort. It's so It's so uncomfortable. And I get that. And money is such a trigger, and hiring requires money.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd love to hear from you about all the things that make you how you're feeling stuck, not behaving as the founder of your business, but behaving as the doer on all levels. And what are the hires that you've made that have made a difference for you? Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, guys.
We are so grateful you're here.
It would mean the world to us if you'll subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel and leave us a review.
If you want to hear more from us, go to proofitspossible.com to join our mailing list and find our social links so you don't miss a thing.
Thanks, and chat next time.